So the next question is, how do you actually build these? I mean, they're really, really simple. They're just little shims of plastic. In fact, I actually cut them off of other Magstrip cards. So you can go to Kinko's, get one of their little copy cards. I happen to have a big bulk of just plastic cards. A friend of mine donated these to me, so I can just go ahead and take little shims, little cuts off this. Now, I went ahead and did the nice thing and made for you a nice little crib sheet. You can download this from Snoop's website, and these are actually outlines of my shims. They fit exactly in where I made. You can go ahead and download it. Remember, this is the outline of the shim, so you'll actually want to cut this sucker out and then trace it and then cut it out. It's available in Ping, PostScript, all other sorts of stuff. So download this, draw, cut. If you want to know actually how I made them, first thing you do is take a sheet of paper, fold it in half. We need to find some way to make a nice right angle. Take the part folded back, take a pen. That's not perfect because I'm on a wood table, but good enough for me. In fact, I'll probably take a line right here. Right on this fold. On this side. Line this sucker up on it. Draw a line. Measure out 3 inches. Measure out 3 inches. Draw a line connecting them. So now we've got a nice straight right angle. Now, the exact measurements of what these things are this one is approximately, this one moves it 2 tracks forward. So if you go ahead and you set your reader to be reading at track 3, you stick this in, this will advance it all the way so it's reading track 1. And for simplicity's sake, I actually wrote track 1 on this. So I know I put this one in when I want to read track 1. This is 9/32 of an inch thick. It's approximately 1/4 of an inch. There's a little give or take with these things. 1/4 of an inch should do just fine. And that's to read just track 2, meaning only bump it forward a little bit, so we're going from track 3 to track 2. I wrote track 2 on it. This is 1/8 of an inch. It's actually 5/32, but 1/8 of an inch works just fine. So, go ahead, take your measurement, go ahead and from this center origin, go ahead and mark out where 1/4 of an inch would be and where 1/8 of an inch would be. You do the same thing on the other side. 8/4. Okay. 1/4, 8, 8, 4. Okay, now, the reason we did this is because your Magstrip is curved in the corner, and so it's kind of difficult to get a nice right angle. So go ahead, move it right into place. We'll actually use this side of it, nice fine side. Move it right in, and you've already got a little marker. So let's start out by making one that is 1/4 of an inch thick. So go ahead, put your little mark. Turn it around, go over to this side of the compass, and 1/8 of an inch. Great. So now you've got your card marked. So we're going to go ahead, draw a line across. Okay. Right there. Got a nice line across, and this is a 1/4 of an inch thick. All right. Now you need a really sharp knife. You can use a Swiss Army knife. You can use a Leatherman, whatever you want to do. This actually is a little sharper, but this is serrated, so it kind of works. So go ahead, try to follow your line. Now PVC is kind of difficult to cut. Your knife will stick for a second, you'll put some pressure on it, and then it'll fly. So be really, really careful with your fingers. You should probably be wearing gloves. I'm not wearing gloves, but oh well. And I'm just putting downward pressure on this, kind of scoring it all along the length. You want to try to keep this as uniform as possible. Okay, it's really starting to go now. I'm down in that groove. And then eventually, just use some pliers, speed this along, take it, break it. And then I normally take the knife, clean off any of those spurs that are still left. There you go. Perfect shim. Take it. Slip it right inside. Now, this is a problem people talk about. They're like, wait, how do I get it to fit? It just stays right in. Now, this sounds kind of nasty. Take it and make little chew marks on it. Or, use a pierre needle nose pliers. Doesn't really matter. You want to put some warpage into it. Not enough to drastically change its shape. I'm just kind of using my fingers. I actually discovered this because I got nervous and I was chewing on one of the shims I made, and then, I discovered that it actually makes it fit in here a lot easier. Now that we've warped it a little bit, it stays in there and won't fall out. You can go ahead, take your card, stick it right in, and it's not going to come out. So right now we're reading track 1. If we bump this sucker out, we're reading track 3. So we go ahead, we do the exact same thing for track 2. We're making this little track 2 shim. As I said, for the track 2 shim, go back to your nice little 4-way sheet of paper you made. You got another blank, or you can use your same blank. I recommend not using the side you cut from, just in case you screwed up, anything like that. Go ahead to the curved side. That's why we made this. So go ahead, put it in, right there. But now instead of using the 1/4 inch, we use the 1/8 inch.